Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, we are here. We are gathered here today. My tranquil ones, okay, my fierce fireflies. We are gathered once again for the foolishness and foolery that is Love After Lockup, y'all. This is my review recap for Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 35. Baby, the name of this episode is Felons for Life, okay? Child, we got Aries and Cameron. They could be off of here. They really don't need to be here. It's not much to their story. She picking him up out the halfway house, honey. I don't know, but Aries look like he smells to me. That's just how he looks. Maybe he don't. Maybe once she clean him up for this day, this one day wedding that they supposed to have, it will be better. But that is just the vibe that he be giving me, okay? What is Gabby and Chris going to do? Why are they up here wasting our times? Why weren't they cut out of here? Okay, I said what I said. I said what I felt. And I have been feeling that way since the beginning. But yet here we are. You know, Ashley and Travis, what is going to happen with these two? I actually forgot that they was even up here on the daggone show. Ashley again was giving us tears, 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 and more tears. Okay, she got enough tears to fill up the sea, child. All right. Nathan and Skylar, what is Nathan doing? Where is Nathan at? Are they really playing with our minds here, or is there something going on with Nathan, especially with the way he was acting the last time around? You know, Justine and Michael are the two that I still root for no matter what. I want these two to win, but Michael, child, they said you was out here doing some rap, that you was one of the biggest rappers out of Rhode Island. Who's the other rappers from Rhode Island? Can y'all tell me? Honey, when he did that freestyle, I said, I love you, Michael, but no. Okay, honey, we ain't gonna do that. Just no, just stop, all right? And Monique and Derek, is these really his sisters? What is the truth? Because I don't know no sisters that act the way they do. Honey, let's get into this daggone episode and take it from the top, okay? So, as we move forward in this daggone, you know, episode right here, I'm going to knock out the ones that I feel like really wasn't doing much. And number one is going to be Aries and Cameron, okay? He come out the halfway house, child. She going there to pick him up, you know, so happy, talking about he ain't walking fast enough for her. He better put some pep in his damn step, all right? And basically, you know, we see that he starts running when he sees her, whatever. He's getting excited, and he gets down on one knee and basically tells her, you know, he proposes to her, whatever. And she say yes. You know, he said, you was waiting for me these last 2 years when I was locked up, and now I want to make you my wife. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to give you my name. She's like, okay. But honey, she didn't realize that he meant tonight. Okay, he want to do this tonight, right now, immediately, ASAP. Okay, he don't want to waste no time. He want to do this like yesterday. So he's like, no, I want this done in a couple hours. And when she's asking him, well, why a couple of hours, he's basically like, because, you know, with me having to go see my PO and I might not be able to move or whatever the case may be, you know, would you want to wait for 6 months up to a year to be able to get married? Of course she don't want to do that, okay? And so at first she was saying, hell no, are you crazy? Have you fell and bumped your damn head? But once he said that, she was like, well, the sooner the better, okay? It changed from why so soon to the sooner the better. And she basically was saying that, you know, she has to have a gown, she has to get her hair done. She like, child, we gotta be grown, you know what I'm saying? I ain't marrying you with you looking like that. And I want to have my family and friends come in from Florida and all this stuff. So he says, give him a day. You know, she's saying she want to dress and she needs him to have this daggone suit. And she was like, a day? You still wildin'. That's still like a bit too much. She was like, can I really have the wedding that I desire and that I should have and that I want in a day? I said, no, girl, you know you can't. I know you can't. Your family know you can't. Your friends know you can't. Because she was saying that, you know, she would want her family and friends to come in from Florida and be there for the wedding. So, child, I don't know if you're going to be getting that. This look like it's about to be a whole daggone mess, and we will be waiting and watching to see what goes on. Now, in the meantime, Gabby and Chris is over here. We picked right up where we left off with them. He's saying, you know, I done took the train all this way. I done waited out here 40 minutes while you playing games with me. You know, why did you have me come here? I could have stayed in daggone New York. And he was like, I'm about to just go ahead and take the train back to New York. And so, of course, here she comes pulling up. She does actually show up or whatever. And she's basically like, so, you know, hey, cheater. And he was like, yeah, okay, why you playing games? He was like, that's all you got to say. So, you know, after a minute of them standing around and talking, he's like, are we going to get up on out of here or what? And they start walking off and he's saying, well, where's the car? He was like, it's bad enough I had to take the train all the way here. I'm tired. Why didn't you bring the car? She's like, oh, we could walk the 4 or 5 blocks, whatever it was, back to the daggone house, and saying that she walked over there. So now she's saying that the car is in the shop, and they get into a little argument about that. He's like, what are you talking about in the shop? What's wrong with it? She was like, well, why do cars go in shops? Because it's something that's messed up on it. It's getting fixed, obviously. I don't believe Gabby. Maybe that's part of the secret that she had to tell, child. Who knows? Okay, I don't trust anything either one of these people say at this point, to be quite honest. And so she's looking and notices that he don't have his ring on his finger. And she's like, what's going on? Why the heck is your ring missing off your finger? He over here talking about, you know, when you get mad and frustrated, he got out of line and he did something that he regrets. You know, that's what he says to us in the confessional. But to her, he basically was like, I threw the ring away. Now, when he's asking her where her ring is at, she's like, I threw my ring away too. Like, are you serious? You threw the daggone ring away. So now that's an argument. You know, Gabby is saying that, you know, she's going to go ahead and get this daggone Frosty. And then she's like, yeah, you want one too, not a Frosty. What the heck is them things called? You know what I'm talking about, y'all, okay? So she said, yeah, you want one too, slushy. Okay, so then when they coming from out of there, it's like a cop car that's rolling past. And she's all like, oh, my God, the police. And watch what you do, because they different around here. And they'll pull up on you for any reason or whatever the case may be. And he was like, what are you talking about? I haven't done nothing wrong. I'm a free man now. I don't have no issues with the cops, so it wouldn't be any reason for them to come up on me. And basically he starts still giving this attitude like, oh, I don't even want to walk with you. You full of crap. They both saying how each other's disrespectful, how each other need to watch which way they talking to each other and all of this. They both just basically giving the same energy back and forth to each other. So at one point she walks off and leaves him and goes up inside the apartment and saying he still needs a little bit more air, right? And she was like, he's too disrespectful right now, and basically goes inside the house. And so in the meantime, he's pacing back and forth outside, and he's again saying how disrespectful she is and how she thinks she the damn boss to him, and she gotta chill because it ain't gonna go down that way, and she's not no boss to him. And again, he wants to tell us about this damn money he spent. Child, we know the money you spent, and that ain't nobody damn fault but yours. You can't blame nobody but you that you took money that you got your ass beat with, okay, that had to be pretty damn bad for them to shell out that much of it in the first daggone place. And you think if I would have got beat like that, I would have been giving all my money to my so-called girl and mama? No, I would not have. I'm sorry. And now you're coming out and you ain't got a dime in your pocket and you're in your feelings about it, but you cannot blame nobody for that but you, Chris. You was the one that made that damn decision, so now you got to live with it. You know, of course, we got to hear that damn saga again. And then he's basically saying that part of his money, of course, even paid for the crib that she is sitting in right now. Now, he says, of course, that he was expecting to come home and for them to be able to sit down, relax, relax, have a good old time. He was not expecting to be coming out and getting into all these arguments, okay, and be out here arguing and fighting. And so in the meantime, she's sticking her head out the window talking about Christopher, you know, come upstairs. And she basically was saying like, oh, she had to give him a timeout for a minute or whatever the case may be. Even though she is still mad at him, she doesn't want him to get arrested. He is paroled to her house or whatever the case may be. She doesn't want him going to jail, so she gonna go ahead and let him in. Now in the meantime, as soon as they get together again in this daggone living room, you know, it's all about, no, you being disrespectful, no, you being disrespectful, no, you need to watch how you talk to me, no, you need to watch how you talk to me, oh, you was cheating on me, no, you was cheating on me. And we just basically getting that back and forth. Everything she accused him of, he's accusing her of, right? He's coming with the only attitude, and she telling him to watch the way he talked to him. So then she just basically says that, you know, she gonna go ahead in the room, and he's like, I guess this is where my bed is tonight, and I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch. I might as well go ahead and get comfortable. And when they got the cameras on her in the daggone bedroom, she's basically saying that she is, you know, feel like she's sitting next to a stranger. Like, this is not the person that she knew. This is not how he was acting, and now he want to act all brand new now that he is out. And that basically was all that was going on with them two. Okay, moving on from them, we see Ashley and damn Travis, child. They on this daggone beach, and Ashley over here talking about how she got him this gadget, she got him this shirt. You know, he's saying how he was dreaming of being a damn treasurer or treasure hunter since he was a little daggone boy, honey. He grew up daydreaming about this. So he is ecstatic to get this gadget from her. He's ecstatic to get this shirt from her. You know, he talks about how, hey, maybe I'm going to find your ring out here while we on this daggone beach, okay? And they go down and sit by the water, whatever. And, you know, he playing with his little toy. But then he's like, well, I'm not going to sit here and play with this too long, because if I do, I'll be playing with it all day. She tell him she got some more surprises for him, right? And he's like, what's that? And she's saying that she got this whole thing lines up from them to get on a boat. Okay, she also got them a boat, and it's gonna be like they going on this little cruise. So he like, oh, thank you, baby, you so sweet. Like, wow, this is a great day. You know, I'm having the best time and all of that. Now, in the meantime, of course, Ashley still got to tell us how terrified she is, and she's saying it's still something that she hasn't told him about the job. Child, apparently Ashley's struggling a lot more than when she let on. She not making the money that she has basically, I guess, told him, or he's assuming that she's making. And it's actually a lot harder with doing this job than what she has discussed with him. And we all seen from the preview that that's going to be an issue for him, because, of course, he been counting them checks, all right? Now, in the meantime, they go to the boat, and he's like, wow, this is the boat. This looks nice. The guy's telling them how they got drinks on board and all of that, right? And, you know, like I said, she's telling us how the jewelry biz is having a hard hit right now. She was like, you know, maybe later down the line, we could go ahead and be making millions of dollars, but that's just not what's happening right now. And so he was saying in his side of the confessional, child, when he talking, that he loves that they have this money and they could live this life that they are living, and it really makes it feel like freedom even more, you know what I'm saying, than him just being out of jail. So I said, enjoy it while you can. Now, my whole thing, Ashley, is if you know you're having a hard time and you don't have the funds coming into the business the way you may have had it coming into it before, why even be spending this money still? Why are you out here getting damn boats and stuff like that? If you know stuff is tight and it's about to be hard, I would think you would be holding on to the money you have. Now, mind you, when they driving past and walking past different areas, it's like, ooh, babe, you see this house? Yeah, that house looks nice. Oh my God, that's a house we could live in, and this, that, and the third, and making all these plans and knowing that it's not going to be that way. You know, he over here talking about how he can't wait to go to school. He can't wait to be able to be added into this business. And it sounded good, honey. But like I said, I don't know if it's going to be going the way that it's sounding, okay? Now, at the end of the day, you know, they was basically just out here in this boat, and he's still fantasizing and, you know, telling her how much he love her and how happy, you know, he is and all of this. And of course, it would not be Ashley, a child, if we don't get some tears. You know, in the midst of him talking, of course, she breaks down crying, and he's telling her she don't have to cry. She don't have to worry about nothing. You know, he don't like seeing her cry. Child, that's just a part of daggone, you know, Ashley's character, okay? If it's one, you know, her personality, if it's one thing Ashley gonna do, is cry. And honey, she gonna be crying even more when he find out she ain't got the damn money that he thinks she do, all right? And that jewelry that he gonna be hunting for is probably whatever jewelry she got left in that damn safe. So hopefully she gonna be still smart and hold on to that damn key, honey, and don't let him get up in there. But moving on from them, we get to Skylar and Nathan. Now, they slept good, okay? She says they slept good. She had a nice time. She was like, I thought it would be hard for us to cuddle, but it wasn't. It actually was very nice. You know, she's saying how he didn't want to get up, but she did. She didn't want to waste the day away in that daggone bed, honey. She like, shoot, I'm free. I'm out of jail. I'm out of prison. I want to get it on and popping and start my day off. So he basically was saying, yeah, they got it in last night. He was like, that's for sure, right? And he's in a much better mood today now that he got him some, okay? He was a little cranky yesterday and going through the motions or whatever the case may be. You know, he was stressed, okay? Nathan was stressed out. And so he calls her down for this breakfast and she was like, what is this? And child, me and her said it at the same damn time because I was like, what the hell is this that he is over here trying to serve her? I'm confused. I could not make it out. But she was like, wait a minute, this is muffins, right? And this is donuts. I said, so we having muffins and donuts for breakfast? But then he was like, this is a prison breakfast, you know? And that does happen with some people. So I've seen and heard, because I ain't never been in a child, okay, that they get used to eating certain ways or doing certain things certain ways and still have that mentality. Now, I would think you just came up out of prison. You would want to have you some damn bacon and eggs and pancakes, you know what I'm saying? Sausages, toast, I don't know, but I definitely did not expect it to be damn donuts and muffins. Maybe it's just me, you know, but he also had a little oranges in there, so you are getting your vitamin C. And apparently he went and stole these from somewhere, so of course he talking about some, you know, I just committed a crime and I'm a felon and this and that. I, you know, took a risk for you and making different jokes. And so when he was mentioning that, she was saying the fact that, you know, they're both felons or whatever. So had they been on parole or probation, she would not have even been able to live there with him and be there with him and stuff like that. But because they're not, she can, and she's thankful for that. And she sees that he made the initiative. But she was giving that face like, this is not what the hell I wanted. Okay, she told him she was full. And so she said this is day 2 for them, and so far it's going good. Of course, you know, time will tell. And so basically he was saying that he had to go to work, and she was like, well, I'm gonna go and get my hair done. Now he was super worried about her going with this friend of hers to go get her hair done. He's like, you sure that's gonna be okay? You know, you sure it's not gonna be no problems? Apparently she did time with this person, and she was in the halfway house with this person before as well. And so he was like, you know, that makes him worried. That makes him concerned. And she was like, well, usually I was the bad one and the bad influence. It wasn't the other way around. And she said she had no intentions on getting in trouble and all of that. So he basically was saying like, well, you're going to go ahead and take the truck, right? And she was like, yeah. So we assumed that both of them are going to start their days and do what they say they're doing. Nathan should be going to work. She should be going to get her hair done. I think the friend's name was Gracie, if I'm not mistaken. And so they get there to the hair salon. They getting their stuff done or whatever, and they're just talking. And it was interesting to me that he was so worried about Gracie and saying what a bad, you know, influence she could be with her. But Gracie is basically worried about him, and the fact that since both of them are addicts and both of them are felons, okay, and both of them can be triggered with different situations, how that could basically be a volcano waiting to erupt, okay? She thinks it could be very dangerous, and she was saying that, you know, of course, this last time that they got together, which we keep hearing about, when she ended up getting, you know, put back in jail, was supposedly because he had saw some messages on her phone, flipped out about it. It ended up being an argument for hours and hours and hours. And Gracie does make mention that, you know, this has been an issue and that them having arguments is an issue or whatever the case may be. So for her, she just is not really trusting this situation and that they will be okay together. But, you know, she hopes that it does work out. And so, of course, when, you know, Skylar is telling her version of what happened and the fact that they argued for hours and she ended up missing the curfew, you actually hear one of the producers from Love After Lockup saying, Nathan's story is very different from yours. Okay, he have a whole different version as to what happened between y'all. And then Skylar just shakes her head and was like, whatever that means, right? I guess saying, nah, he ain't got no different version. My version is the right version. And so she's saying how it's strange. She have not heard from him. He haven't said anything. She don't know what the heck is going on. You know, any other time he's calling her down. Now all of a sudden today he's not calling. She haven't heard from him in a minute. And when she's calling him, he's not answering. Now at one point, the producers, you know, camera people, whatever, we TV even show his phone ringing with her name coming up. So it's like, well, if y'all damn there, what the heck is really going on? Why would y'all just show this phone ringing with her name on it, right? So she still don't know what's happening, and she's still just going, you know, getting this hair and stuff done talking it up with her girlfriend and get to the point where her hair is almost finished and she ready to get out of there, and still nothing. At this point, she's also texted him as well as called him, and still nothing is coming back. So we worried now, and she was like, stuff like this triggers her and causes her PTSD. She was diagnosed with PTSD, and she basically does, like, get panic attacks and stuff like that too. And I know how that feels. That's not no joke. At the end of the day, because of her going through this with the two boyfriends that she had previously, and then unfortunately them dying, when something like this happens, that's where automatically her mind is going to go to. And then she goes into a little bit more details with one of the situations that she went through, with saying that they were actually making plans. They were saying they was about to leave, they was about to travel, they was about to move, they was about to go in rehab and all of this, right? And when she woke up that next morning and it's like, hey babe, he basically just was unresponsive and was dead. And so going through something like that, you could understand why that would be a traumatic experience. And as they're leaving and driving back to go check and see if everything is okay in the car, on their way there, her friend is like, well, what if he's just doing this to see what you would do and what your reaction would be, and to make you worry, and he's probably just trying to, make you wonder what he's doing. And she was like, nah, do you really think he would do something like that? She was like, if that's what it is, I would be pissed off. I would hope that he wouldn't do nothing like that, especially knowing, what I went through, and the fact of how my previous boyfriend OD'd and everything that I went through. And so then we see her get to the house and she's calling out his name. And basically the last thing that we see with them is her calling his name and then walking in the room and being like, oh my God. So what the hell do y'all think it is with Nathan? Do you think he just in the end was just trying to surprise her with something? I didn't really think, on the one hand, that maybe she should have walked in with her daggone friend and had her following her up behind the stairs too. Maybe she should have waited downstairs or waited in the car. I get her trying to come, to give her support. But what the heck do y'all think that's going to be about? Because that's weird for Nathan to be acting the way that he was acting and trying to get her there and all of that, and leave and go to work and say that he's so worried about her messing up. And now all of a sudden you not answering, and you was acting a little weird and suspect the last time that we was seeing you. So I just really hope it ain't no mess. And we see a preview with him where he looked like he gonna be going off and acting daggone crazy. So I don't know what the heck is up with Nathan at this point, y'all. But put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Now, moving on from that, we get to Justine and Michael, one of my favorite couples, somebody that I do root for, and I do want everything to work out for them, God willing. And we see that it's the next morning. We making breakfast. We saying, how you doing? How you feeling? Now, I didn't really sleep that good because I didn't like the fact that we had that argument last night, it bothered my spirit. And Justine is saying, look, your family is territorial. He's like, yes, I do. They've been that way since I was a kid. And she was like, I get that, but I am also territorial over my daughter. The same way your mom gonna go up for you, I'm gonna go up for mine, okay? So she was like, we gotta be able to find a middle ground, because if not, we just gonna still continue to be arguing back and forth over you. We both be, gonna be trying to see who can get your love more. And that's not going to be a good situation. And she was like, I stand on everything that I said, but I do apologize for the timing and the way that it came out. And I am sorry that I ruined your day. And I appreciate that she said that. And he was like, I want you to know that I'm always on your side, but you got to be willing to apologize to my mother as well. And she said, well, I'll meet her halfway. I will give her an apology if I get one in return. She, then she continued on, like, we got to find a way to communicate. This cannot be a daggone competition. And I agree with her. I thought that this was a very grown-up conversation between the two of them. And he was like, well, my family has been away from me a long time. There's a lot of emotions, a lot of temps is running. It's hard to control that. But he was like, he definitely want them to all be able to come together and, be a family and show love or whatever. So she basically was like, at the end of the day, I'm going to do anything for my kids just like she would do anything for hers. And she was like, they have to realize that I was holding down their brother, their son, and everything was all good then. But now all of a sudden there's a problem. Again, I understand where Justine is coming from. And she starts to tear up a little bit. And he's like, oh, no, babe, don't cry. Come here, don't cry. He was hugging her. And I just was like, oh, they just so cute and sweet, okay? Please protect Mike and Justine, all right? I'm here for them. And so he say, It's gonna be okay. I need the woman in my life to get along. He was like, but Justine is gonna come first. She's my wife. I love her, and I need them to understand that. Listen, you all right with me, Mike, okay? He says they gotta respect me and they gotta respect my wife, bottom line. And so they go ahead and they hug it up or whatever the case may be. And then he tells her, well, he gonna have to go ahead and have this meeting, with Mocha after they finish saying I love you. So now Justine got a little bit of attitude again, like, really? And he was like, nah, it's real quick. Come on. I already told you I need to go take care of this, business. This is important. It's a business meeting and it's going to be quick. So she says, okay, but I'm coming. And he was like, do you really think, I'm saying, you should do that? Now, she says she has not heard nothing but good things about Mocha, but she still don't trust him and she don't trust some of the decisions that he may be making. So he was telling her, well, why would you come? Do you really think it's appropriate for you to be around us when we discussing this business and maybe some things that you might not understand? And she tells him, well, did you ever think that you're probably underestimating me? So I said, okay, I see where both of them is coming from. But Justine, you ain't got no job, girl. You ain't got nowhere you work. You ain't got no damn hobbies. You ain't busy with the freaking kids. Like, what are you going to do? Follow Michael around every single place all the time, everywhere he go? I don't know, girl. That might end up being an issue. I'm just saying. Now, in the meantime, they go ahead and to this meeting with him. Of course, he's super happy to see him. And Michael was saying, like, I'm ready. Okay, I want to jump into this. I want to get back into the business. And he's saying that Mocha is somebody that has good connections that could get them into, a lot of places and get a lot of things done. Mocha is saying that Michael is good, that he has a lot to offer, and he's ready to get him into these different places, that he has, people that could open up doors, and that is people that he signed and that he's put on that have gotten, 7-figure deals. And he's saying that Michael can rebrand himself. He definitely already has the image. And so everything so far in this meeting is positive, whether it's Michael talking about Mocha or Mocha talking about Michael. We are just getting nothing but positivity. Excuse me. And, Justine is just sitting there listening. So now in the meantime, when Michael starts to say that, he's at this place and he's like, yeah, I got stuff written and I'm, basically, have songs that I already worked on and beats, then Mocha says, well, come on, let's hear something. He's like, no, not right here. So they go in, I guess, this studio part behind this glass or whatever, and we're hearing this freestyle that he doing. And I'm like, no tea, no shame, Mike. Like I said, you one of my faves, honey, but this ain't it, okay? This ain't it. Is this what we gonna do? Now, there was a little bit, some of it in like the middle ending part that wasn't too bad, and maybe it could have been his nerves. It could have been that he rusty. I'm not trying to really judge you like that, but I'm just saying that we gonna keep it real, honey, okay? Even that music video they was playing, I was just like, oh, okay, Mike, all right, we might want to look into other professions. I'm just saying. And so Mocha seemed to be happy and pleased with it, and Michael was saying how hungry he is and how much he want this right now. So then when they coming out, Mocha's like, yeah, he got what it takes. And what I'm saying, this is beyond and popping. But he was like, the only thing is I do notice you got that daggone ring on your finger. And he was like, that might have to come off. Okay. And then they were saying that he might have to go to Sin City sometime. And she's like, oh, Justine is like, I've been to Vegas. That ain't no big issue. I could rock with that. But they do, he does say that ring got to come off, okay? I'm sorry, that got to come off. And so, of course, Justine is like, oh, hell to the no, that ring will not be coming off. And Michael was saying, I like being married. I love being married. I love flaunting her. And he's like, I hear you. That's all cool and fine and dandy. Michael was saying he do get the music business and he know that be a part of it or whatever. And, of course, Justine is saying, Michael will not be taking that ring off, okay, for success or anything else, and that's that on that. And so Mocha just still was going, yeah, ring gotta go, sweetie, okay? So what's gonna happen with them? I don't know, child. Okay, we shall see, because, no ring, no blink, okay? Now, last but definitely not least, we have Monique and Derek, and I was just confused, okay? Derek is trying to have a peaceful damn time. He's trying to take her First of all, he has his monitor charging, right? He has officially got his monitor. That needs to charge up. They have to know where he is and what he is doing, all right? And so she's basically saying, we got to get ready to get out of here. And she's asking him what the monitor is for. And he was like, remember, I told you all about this. He says, there's GPS monitoring just the same way on your damn phone. You got the tracker and all of that. Well, this is a tracker for them where they need to know where I'm going, where I'm at, what I'm doing, whatever have you, right? And so they get that charged up, and we come to find out that they have an appointment for the bank. But in the meantime, she is periodically saying to him, you know, oh, your sister's been texting me, right? And we find out that he could not get into the daggone casino because he did not have the proper IDs. And so basically they go to open up this bank account, and even when they get to the bank, the man is telling him he needs 2 pieces of IDs. And he gives him the check and 1 ID, but then he's telling, you know, Monique, can you look on your phone? Because apparently it was an email that he had sent to her with some of his birth certificate, probably social security card and things of that nature. And she couldn't find it right then and there. And he started getting an attitude with her like, oh, it's funny that you can find everything else quick, but when it comes to this, all of a sudden it's slow and it's taking you a long time and you having a problem with finding my stuff. And she like, whoa, hold up, slow down. First of all, you know, a lot of how fast I can find stuff or look stuff up depends on the daggone Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is not good in here right now, so slow your roll. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna calm down. Now in the meantime, the bank guy is basically saying to him like, well, Dad, this is a lot of money. You got $9,000 saved up. Do you mind if I ask how you was able to save all this up? You know, I know you was out there in the streets. This is not money that you made from the streets or anything like that, right? And he tells the guy, like, no, you know, I did what I did when I was out there and I was good at it. But this actually is a check that the jail had to give to me because I would find different little, you know what I'm saying, side jobs, and I would get paid off of it. And I would always save up all my money. And I was able to save up $9,000. I said, well, you go, Derek. Okay, I know that's right. You know, now I might look at you a little different because that tells me that you do have some smarts to you. If you was able to sit there and save $9,000, I said, now you was out here ready, you know what I'm saying, to spend the Monique money. So I'm hoping, you know, along with you saying that you want to continue to be able to save and invest and grow and all of this with this money that you're depositing now, I would hope that it also is going to be you looking back out for Nicole and Monique, and the way that she has been looking out for you. You know, maybe that's why you felt so comfortable spending up the money, because you knew you was going to have this other money you was going to be depositing. At least that's what my hope is, all right? And so, you know, the bank teller seemed to be very impressed with this too. And he was just basically saying like, are you into crypto or any of that other stuff? And Derek was like, no, not right now, you know. But that may be something that I'll get into later. And he was saying how he actually was able to give somebody else information that was able to help them and help them make money. So, of course, Monique is like, and who was that and when was that? All right. And, of course, he tried to switch it up. Okay, we see you, Michael. I mean, we see you, Derek. We caught that. And he tried to say that this was a friend of his cousin and that he don't speak to the person no more because he ain't trying to go through a whole bunch of bull with, you know what I'm saying, Monique asked. And so as they are leaving from there after the check is finally deposited, because the guy ended up being like, you know what, I could take the check and I could take the ID. That should be good enough. I don't even know if damn Monique ever found the other you know, birth certificate or whatever that he's saying that he emailed to her, because he was like, he just gonna use those things. And so as they was leaving from there, they was saying the next stop that they was going to go to was going to be the gym to work out. Now, like I said, she starts complaining because she's like, yo, do you see the stuff that your sister and them is sending to me? And she was like, they done sent a whole bunch of different texts now that you said you don't want to be bothered. And he was like, no, don't show it to me. I don't want to see it. But she still was basically showing it to him like, you need to see it. So when he looked, he like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, are you freaking kidding me? And it basically was calling her all out her name, you know, blaming her for him not wanting to be around them and him not wanting to deal with them, saying all this different kind of stuff they was going to do to her. And he was just keep saying like, ignore it, ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. Don't pay it no mind. That's not what we here for. That's not the energy that I want to be in. You know, I want us to go work out and I want us to be with positive energy. Don't feed back into it. He was like, that's what you're going to sit here and do. Act like a big kid and have an attitude and argue back and forth with them. That's where you really want to put your energy at. And she was like, that's not where I'm trying to put my energy at. But this is what they keep sending to me. I'm not bothering them. They're bothering me. Okay. And so he's telling the guy, like, we want to go ahead and join the gym. We want to see, you know what I'm saying, what's what, get a tour. We want to probably have, you know, a coach that could work with us. And the guy's like, yeah, we could do all of that. He goes and shows them around first. And he's like, when y'all finish, then y'all could come and fill out this paperwork or whatever, right? And so they go back to work out. And I love the fact that, you know, Derek is sitting here wanting to work out with her, hang out with her, you know, and just do different activities with her. He don't seem like he's ashamed at all. He seems like he's excited. He seems like he's into it. He seems like he's trying to encourage her. And also he's in a comfortable and happy space with working out, because this is something that he probably used to do when he was in, you know what I'm saying, jail or whatever. And this is something that them two could do together. So they actually look like they was vibing really good with that part. It's not so much seeming like it's an issue between them two as a whole. Is an issue coming from the outside with his family. And I'm confused. I'm saying, is these really your sisters? Because I don't know no sisters that go this damn hard. And I get what Derek is saying, but don't feed into it and, you know, don't answer them back and let's just worry about us and our connection and feeling good and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, if somebody is constantly hitting me up, if somebody's posting different things about me on social media, that's going to be a problem. And since this is supposedly your family, I am expecting for you to be the one to address it and take care of it. If you're not going to do it, then that only leaves me. You understand what I'm saying? But on the other flip side, Monique blocked them. That's why there's a block, honey. They would not know nothing. They would not see nothing. They would not be able to get through to me about nothing. They would have been blocked on every single social media account. They would have been blocked on all of my phone numbers. That's it. There's no reason for you to talk to me. If you feel whatever way about me and you cannot respect me, then there's no reason for you to have my number and call it, text it, or anything else. That would be the end of the story. So I get where he's coming from where that part is concerned, but I also feel like he needs to nip it in the butt. Now, in the meantime, as they are talking about, you know, this workout and how good it's going and how good they're feeling and all of that, she was basically saying like, well, damn, you know, at this point, I think it might be a good idea if I come on and end up, you know, moving out here and being closer to you and we could work out together. And he was saying, nah, that's not a good idea at all. He was like, you know, right now he's supposed to be staying at his grandmother's house until she leave, and he was like, you know, that would not basically be good and that would not be comfortable, because then you would be getting into it with my sisters and them and it would just be a whole hot ass mess. So when he said that, you know, he wouldn't feel comfortable with that, she was basically like, well, you know, who is it going to be uncomfortable for exactly, right? Or who is it going to be a nightmare for? Because he started saying, like, as far as his sisters and them, that would turn into a nightmare. And he was basically like, for me, because he's feeling stuck in between her and his family. And at the end of the day, he still wants to have relationships with both of them. However, Derek, you do need to step up and tell your sisters and them, like, stop. Period. I said what I said, stop. If that's really the way you feel and it's really coming from you, then you need to nip that shit in the bud, okay? So basically, as they are moving on, you know, from that, Monique says that, you know, she put his picture up and is telling girls like, oh, look, and my brother just came home and you could be with him. And she was like, oh, she acting like a punk bitch. You know, you want me to act like a punk bitch? She like, nah, I'm not going for that. If they say something to me, I'm going to say something to them. I'm going to answer them back. So, of course, this is causing a big argument between her and Derek. He just keeps saying over and over and over, just ignore them, act like they not even saying nothing. He was like, why the hell do you have to, you know, feed into this? And he's saying he can't be like a witness or a victim or anything tied up into the mix of this, right? If for any reason something goes down and the police get called, then it would basically fall back on him and he could end up back in jail. So he's like, if you don't want me to end back up in jail, then just don't be in the mix of this. Of course, in the meantime, Monique also doesn't want to leave because she's worried about him cheating on her. She's like, oh, well, I don't think that he's cheating on me or that he's ever done anything or that he's going to do anything, but you just never know. And I'm like, Monique, girl, at the end of the day, if he's going to cheat, it wouldn't matter if you living there or not. That's a mistake that a lot of damn women make. And we already know that Monique has been showing us some of her insecurities as, you know, we've been getting to see them up here any daggone way. And it's like, girl, stop it, okay, as far as that part goes. Now, he asked her for his phone, for her phone or whatever. He's trying to get it away from her so she can't keep interacting back and forth with them. She's trying to snatch the daggone phone back. She's getting mad at him for saying something to her. She feels like he's snapping at her, but he's not saying nothing to the sister in them. I can understand her feeling that way at that point. I really do. And he gets frustrated and is like, just take me back to the hotel. I ain't got no time for this or whatever. And he was like, you're not acting like you're grown. You're not acting like a mature person. You're acting like a damn kid, okay? That is his opinion of the situation. And he was like, you sitting here arguing back and forth with them and keeping on entertaining it. Why can't you just ignore them? And so basically he was saying like the most important thing is that he want to go visit with his grandmother, right? I think this is his great grandmother that had a part in raising him. She 95 years old, and he was like, you know, he has been approved to stay at her house, so he supposed to have been taking a couple of bags over there. And he also wanted to introduce Monique to her, or introduce her to Monique. And so they go back to the hotel. You know, both of them are frustrated about this situation. She's like, okay, you know, he keeps telling her she tripping. You tripping all the way, man. You tripping big time. He was like, I can't understand this. You supposed to be my girl, man. You know, at one point when the sister calls, she's on speaker, and the sister saying, I'm gonna beat you up, and she's saying, I'm gonna beat you up. And she was like, I don't got nothing to do with that, so why the heck you keep calling me? At another point, he answered the phone, and she like, oh, put it on speaker. You know, he trying to talk to his sister and say, you know, cut it out, stop or whatever. And he's saying to Monique, why do you keep entertaining this? And so, of course, after that back and forth, that's when they go back to the hotel. I guess he figured they could cool down for a minute and bring it down. And he's still saying to her, like, why are you getting mad and entertaining this and arguing back and forth with them? Like, just ignore them. Act like they don't exist. It's not supposed to be about them. It's supposed to be about me and you. Me and you are sitting here making all these different plans to be together, but yet you're busy arguing back and forth with my sisters. But I'm saying, Derek, I do hear where you coming from. You're making a good point with that. However, the fact that they even feel that comfortable and they feel like they could come out their face like that, I'm confused. I still need to know, what exactly is this relationship? Why do they feel that comfortable? Why do they feel like they could come at Monique like that? Why do they feel like they could be disrespectful? You have to be the one to tell them that that is a no-go. That's unacceptable. Check them. Period. And I think that that would be the end of it. And if it's not the end of it, then there's an even bigger issue there. And everybody should have them blocked, and there shouldn't be any more conversations. I don't know what else to say as far as that's concerned. But that's weird to me that that became the biggest issue between them. Of course, he's telling her about him being monitored and about this could jeopardize him and all of that different kind of stuff. And she's like, I get it. So now when he's saying, you know, I just want to go to my grandma's and I want to make sure everything's okay and check in with that. Now, of course, she starts crying again and she don't want to go. He like, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? He's like, this is not even issues that we're having amongst us. This is issues that other people are bringing in. You know, can we just please go to my grandmother? So finally, they go ahead to go there. And in the process of them going there, they get a call about his other grandmother who apparently is not doing good. They get a call from, who was it? I think another cousin, Jessica, calls and says, you know, he's not doing good. She's not doing good. And she was like, even if it's 5 minutes, he needs to come on through. He can find time for everything else. He really needs to find time for that. So she like, okay, I'm going to tell him. So she takes him by there so that he can see, you know, how he's saying how this has been a rough day. Everything going wrong, a lot of stress. And now on top of that, he got to deal with this. And in the process of him going in to check on that grandmother, Janisha calls, and which is, you know, Monique's friend, and she's seeing the cops rolling up in front of them, and she like, what the heck is the cops doing here? All they keep doing is going back and forth. Then the producer jumps in the car and they saying what's going on. So they at this point like, yo, just tell Derek to get in the back seat and let's get the heck up on out of here. Derek gets in the back seat and it looks like they're being followed by this white car, and it's like, well, who the hell is this white car? And what are they doing? At one point, they was going to pull over at this gas station. And then Derek is like, no, 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 don't. He's like, go, go, go. So he basically was like, don't stop. And he says he don't know who it is. He was like, it could either be his sisters or it could be the cops. I said, now, what's going on here? His sisters is following y'all now? Tracking you down the car for what? And so they like, well, we gonna go back to the hotel. And she tells one of them to put it in the GPS. And she all scared, like, what do I do now? What do I do now? And you driving behind the wheel like, nah, this is getting out of hand. I'm sorry, Derek. I wouldn't be able to mess with your ass either if you got some crazy ass sisters like that. You seem like you a nice guy overall. You know what I mean? Especially if you really are there for her because you like her. But baby, I'm not going to deal with your crazy family. That I'm not going to do. And I am going to defend myself and stick up for myself. And I am going to demand respect. So we got to fix that situation. Or you got to go ahead about your business. One or the other. Which one is going to be? Okay? So we going to see what happened next week, y'all. Put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this daggone episode. Who the heck do y'all think that is following behind them in this white car? Do y'all think these is really just Derek's sisters, or do y'all think it's something else going on? Put it all in the comments. Let's discuss. If I left anything else, I'll put it in the comments. Let's discuss that too. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you were so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. All right.